Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dungeon Dive and the third part of our series on Warhammer Quest. Now I know last time I said that we were going to start taking a look at some of the expansions, but that is going to change a little bit because I forgot to take a look at the cards. So we're going to take a look at the base cards, the cards that you use to play the game. I'm also, if you guys can let me know, I am using a new microphone setup. So just let me know if you like the sound of this better or if you like the sound of the other better, if you can even tell. I was just using a small lapel mic, but I recently just got this, just kind of a nice little condenser mic hooked up to my mixer there. Trying it out here. For those of you who don't know, I also have a YouTube channel about synthesizers. And gonna start. I've been kind of taking a break from that for about a year or so, but I'm gonna start getting back into that. So I got some of my my audio equipment set back up. So, anyways, let's take a look at some of these cards here. So the two main decks of cards that you use in the game are treasure cards and event cards. Now, these large stacks of cards are not included in the base game. What you're seeing here is a representation of cards from the base game, cards from some of the expansions, and a lot of DIY cards. And the treasure cards, what you're seeing are all of those, plus all of the cards from the official treasure card packs that were released, which there were 3. And each of those added, I think it was 50 cards to the deck. And so if I had one complaint about the giant box, the base game, that complaint would be that you don't necessarily get a ton of cards in the game. You will very quickly use all the cards or see all the cards that are provided. However, that is offset by using the tables and the charts that we went through in the role play book. So while it's not a big deal, I do wish maybe that there were just a few more cards in the game, because really what you get is you get, I think, about 20 event cards, and those include a card for the monsters that you will face from the base game and the non-combat encounters. Okay, this stack here is just my non-combat encounters. So as you can see, I've added quite a bit to my stack there. And then the treasure cards, you get 30, and those are split between regular treasure items that you can get in the dungeon rooms, and then items that you get for completing a quest in the objective room. And so you don't get a ton, but like I said, you can always just offset those with the charts from the book to create more variety. And the reason I think that's important is because, like I've said many times before, these kinds of games, they live and die by the variety that they offer the players. If you see everything that a game like this has to offer too soon, you're not going to want to go back to it, because truthfully, the game, the mechanisms, the rules for these kinds of games aren't the draw. It's, at least for me, it's the sense of exploration. It's the feeling that at any time anything can happen because of how many different variables and there are out there, and the variety of different things. So we're just going to take a look at some of these cards. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm not going to show everything. So this stack here, this is the basic treasure stack. And like I said, this does include some DIY stuff, or maybe this stack doesn't. This stack might just be everything from the base game, and then also the treasure packs, the official treasure packs that Games Workshop released. And so these are the basic treasure cards. When you killed a monster or a group of monsters, you would get to draw from this deck. And this includes a variety of things like magic potions, different kinds of talismans, a magical artifact that sucks all the light from the surrounding area, creating an aura of darkness around you. Once your warrior has finished moving, he may use the Talon of Death to cause 1d6 wounds against every monster adjacent to him, with no modifiers for toughness or armor. Roll for each monster separately. Okay, that's a pretty killer card. And as you can see, that's pretty expensive. That's a $500 value card. So that is a very good item. If you were to find that, you would count yourself very lucky. Whereas something like the magic potion here, which is only worth 60, now you can sell these items back at the town. And remember, in this game, magic or gold is both your currency and your experience. It's like a magic potion. This small glass bottle bears strange inscriptions in some foreign, long-forgotten magical language. When your warrior drinks the magic potion, roll 1d6. All right, so 1d6. If you roll a 1, you take 2d6 worth of damage, and if you roll a 6, the healing potion restores your warrior to full wounds. So once again, you never want to roll a 1 in a Games Workshop game. So yeah, so you just have various things here. Shields, another magic potion, a healing potion, magical rings, gold, cloaks, the ensorcelled blade. You find a blade of pure iron, tempered to the sound of arcane incantations in ages past. This weapon's magic guides your hand, making it easier to strike your foes. While using the ensorcelled blade, you may add 1 to your warriors to hit rolls. And that's a pretty good card. A firebomb, some kind of magical chalice, a death stone, ammo, and scrolls for magic spells. So that's the basic treasure deck. And then you also have here, this is the dungeon room deck. So these are maybe, or should be possibly like a step up. Okay. So this is maybe something that you would get when you killed a group of monsters in a dungeon room. Lux Stone. The Anarandel was a wood elf sorceress, renowned for her peaceful demeanor, sunny disposition, and hatred of battle. She fashioned many items to her followers, should they be assailed by dark forces. This plain, smooth stone bears an elf rune. It allows the bearer to re-roll any one dice roll once per adventure. Okay, that's pretty nice there. You got healing jewels, exotic foods, the Horn of Resilience, Ring of Invisibility. Let's see, holy artifacts, boots of battle. While wearing these boots, your warrior gets an extra kick attack at a -1 to hit and a +1 strength. Okay, that's pretty cool. Potion of flying. Okay, the Captain's Cutlass. So this here is actually from the Hall of the Hag Queen. Now that's an expansion that we're going to talk about a little later, made by a guy named Little Monk. That's his name on BGG, and that's kind of his name online. And he is kind of the, oh man, I don't know. I don't know what the word is, but he is the ultimate in fan-made material for Warhammer Quest. His stuff is awesome. I mean, it looks, it reads, it plays exactly like the stuff from the game. He has done just decades of playing and research, so he's got some really good stuff already out, which we will go over. And he's got a couple of really, really great things in the works. And I actually have an interview with him that I'm going to be working on to get published up on the blog once his new project is completed. The Obsidian Blade. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff. An Ogre Slayer Axe. While using this axe, your warrior gets a +2 strength, +3 if he is a dwarf. Okay, that's pretty good. So tons and tons of different kinds of treasure in this deck. And then finally, the final deck of treasure is the Objective Room deck. Now this is where like the heavy hitting items are. And this actually does have some DIY stuff, some more you can see here. So like what I did was I printed a back Then I have a blank card in the middle, and then I printed the face here to kind of make a little card sandwich there. Throw that in a cheap Mayfair penny bag. And so then that's also from the Hall of the Hag Queen. So this is something that Little Monk made. Okay, so we have here, this is the Chryskora's crossbow. Chryskora created this crossbow to defend her residence from a legion of undead. It is said that over 100 ghastly creatures fell before she was finally overrun. This repeating crossbow has a strength of 3, range of 8, and can fire up to 2 shots per turn. So in this game with ranged weapons, the weapons themselves have a strength, and you use the strength of the weapon and not the strength of the warrior. You only use the strength of a warrior with the melee weapons. Okay, so it uses no quarrels, firing magical bolts of energy instead. In addition, the first bolt fired in each turn causes extra wounds equivalent to the power phase roll. So the power phase, that's what the wizard rolled at the beginning of the turn. So that could be anywhere from 1 to 6. However, if the power phase is a 1, the crossbow cannot be fired. Okay, I should have kept reading. That turn as it recharges. So, and only a wizard can use that. So that's a crossbow that the wizard can use. That's pretty cool. So yeah, these are a little more powerful than the other stuff. You have the dragon sword, the sword of vengeance, the speed stone of Le Marquis, the battle stone of Le Marquis, the axe of slaying, the bow of Lauren, the ring of warp, shield scrolls, a firestorm icon, another Hall of the Hag Queen, the halberd of defiance. So it would be nice if more of these cards had unique art. It is kind of a bummer that some of them don't. But there's enough art in the game. I can give it a pass on that. So that's the treasure. So as you can see, if you start collecting the treasure decks, which the treasure decks now, they actually go for quite a bit of money. I think around maybe $30 to $50. My base set that I bought came with them. But you can print out, there's a ton of cards you can print out. There's a ton of treasure tables that you can use to where you could just draw a card and then, or not even draw a card, just roll a dice on a treasure table. And we'll go over some of those again when I get into the DIY expansion stuff. And there's also a ton of treasure tables in the roleplay book that have a lot more weapons. And so now we get to the event decks. So the event decks, you would draw an event card whenever you entered a dungeon room or when you roll a 1 on the power phase. And events are broken up into non-combat encounters and combat encounters. So the way I do it is every time I play with a event deck of 20 cards. And my normal distribution is to have 8 events or non-combat encounters, and 12 monsters. So, and then I'll mix that up. If I want more non-combat encounters, I might put more in, but then you're going to get less XP. So this is my deck of non-combat encounters. And this definitely has a lot of DIY stuff in it and all the stuff from the base game. And I think some of the, some of these decks, I know this one, I know some of the treasure have cards from the White Dwarf issues. And some of these ones here that are on the smaller printed card are from an expansion, a fan-made expansion called Beyond the Grey Mountains. And so you can buy these blank event cards, and the game actually comes with some. I think it comes with 17, and you can usually buy the packs on eBay. And so I'll just slip these in front. So this was like a blank one that you can make your own monster encounter on. So I will just put print that out and put that in front. So this was definitely a fan-made expansion here. A weapons rack. So you come across a weapons rack, and then you roll a dice to see what you find. You have an Imperial Knight's Daylight. The warriors notice light streaming through a slit in the ceiling, and on investigation discover the underside of a trap door. To see if a warrior can force open the trapdoor, roll a d6. On a score of 1, 2, 3, or 4, it is too stiff to push open. On the score of 5 or 6, the wood gives and the trapdoor bursts open. Each warrior can try to open the trapdoor once per turn. The trapdoor leads to the outside world and freedom. Make note of where it is on the leader's adventure record sheet. The warriors can either leave now or come back later. So that's an extra way out in case you get trapped or in case you're dying and you need to leave. You can find dead bodies that you can roll on, and they'll have different kinds of things to find. Looks like I have 2 of those, but they're actually, let's see, 46 treasure. The bag contains 1d6 times 100 gold. So it looks like both of these are the same. So there might be some doubles. You can get lost, a spider's lair, hidden rooms. You can encounter different NPCs that you have to roll on a little chart. The Flames of Kozla. So I think this card here is actually also represented in the expansion that I'm giving away. Where did that other page go? Let's see here. Nope, so that was something that was different. I don't know where that one came from. That might have come from, or maybe it did, and I only have 1 copy of that. That's a super small text on that thing, man. Holy crap. Yeah, I'm not sure. That might have come from an insert in a White Dwarf. I definitely don't have an extra insert to give away. I just have those pages. But I'm sure this card is easy to find online if you look around. Locked doors, traps. You can find prisoners and rescue them. Encounter a stranger. So yeah, there's all kinds of non-combat encounters to add variety to your adventures. And then the last 2 stacks we'll take a look from are 2 of the stacks of monsters. So these stacks represent all of the monsters from the monster. This is all the base game and the monsters from the monster table level 1. And this is monster level 2, the monster from the monster table level 2 plus some DIY stuff. So if I went ahead and went to like levels 3 through 10, I would then have to draw a card and then just consult the monster table. But a lot of these, so some of these came from the base game, and then most of these actually, so maybe like the ones without the picture on some of these, came from a printerstudio.com file I found that somebody made the level 1 monster tables into cards. So you've got snotlings, dark elves, skaven, minotaurs, giant spiders, skeletons, more dark elves, ogres, goblins, zombies, rat ogre. So actually quite a bit of variety in the level 1. And then the level 2 here has all of the level 2 monsters plus a bunch of monsters from that expansion I was talking about earlier, the Beyond the Grey Mountains. So Chaos Dwarves, a Dark Elf Champion, Cold Ones, and you've got Hobgoblins, Beastmen, Chaos Champion, Chaos Dwarfs with Blunderbusses, Witch Elves, Centaurs, which I'm having a really hard time tracking down good Centaur minis. If you guys know of any, let me know. Chaos Dwarf, Sorcerer, more Ogres, more Rat Ogres, 1d3 Minotaurs and 1d3 Ogres. That could be a total party wipe right there. 1d6 plus 1 Chaos Warriors, Guard Dogs, Giselle Snipers. I don't have any Giselle minis either. Those go for quite a bit, so I definitely proxy those with just some Skaven and just pretend that they have the sniper rifles. Fiends of Slaanesh, Pink Horrors. Definitely have a lot of those. Bloodletters, got a lot of those. Beastmen, Plague Bearers, got a lot of those. Skaven Warlocks, yeah, set in those. Hobgoblins. So yeah, so with just these 2 decks of cards, levels 1 and 2. There are quite a bit of monsters. And that's it. So that's just a kind of a shorter video today, just going through the decks of cards there. We will go through the other decks of cards I have here when we go through the expansions that each one is associated with. And that's what we're going to start on next time, is we're going to start on the big box expansions, and then probably go through the Warriors, and then we'll do a couple videos probably on the DIY stuff. So, all right, well, hope you guys had a good one. And if you can, again, let me know what you think of this new microphone. If you like the old one better, I'll switch back. I'm not sure which one I'm going to like better, so we'll have to see. So, all right, you guys, have a good night, and bye-bye.